it's me. I'm going to be reading a short story that I wrote. It's actually kind of a long story, but it's for my class. And let's see. It's about the 5th time I was in the psych ward. And this is whenever I was dating Mike, my boyfriend, who I've been with for almost 5 years now. So I'm going to sit this way. Okay. And it's kind of long, so if there's any interruptions or anything, I'm sorry about that. Okay, here we go. Honest as knives. It was the fights we had in my dad's living room in Oklahoma. Just a second. I don't want to block this. Okay. It was the fights we had in my dad's living room in Oklahoma. Fights that we laugh about still today because we were new to romance and love. I had only known his kiss for 6 months, still too shy for much more. I remember the tension in the dry plains air, the way all the trees bent to the west. Just months before, in the cold spring of '09, I'd fallen in love with him, swimming in the murky waters of Pontchartrain Beach with our kleptomaniac friends. I still remember the first time I met him in January, the way he held his bass guitar like a lover, the way I chased him down the hallway of the dorms and kissed him on the teeth. We brought our guitars on vacation to Oklahoma that summer and played them every day to pass the time. Our most vicious fight was about the cowbell skit from Saturday Night Live. I abandoned him at a Barnes & Noble with no car for an hour over the grave disagreement. We still do not speak of the incident that almost ended our relationship. It would be our last vacation together. It was the drive home without stopping for a break. All the way down through Dallas, past Shreveport, closing my eyes through Lafayette where I grew up, and then home to New Orleans. I always hated road trips. They made me go crazy, but I had to get home. The next mistake was deciding to stay out that night in the city, going out to eat with his old anorexic love and our good friends. I'm not the jealous type, and I even thought I could be friends with her. We went to our favorite pizza joint in the local section of the French Quarter. She ordered a Diet Coke and nothing more. When the order slid through her glossed lips, something inside of me became free and deadly. Her body was just shy of recovery. Sorry. But she still flirted with starvation. When she walked down Bourbon Street, the drunk man called to her, and she smiled and closed her eyes as she swung her hips. I remember an overwhelming desire to hurt myself. The bathroom of Angeli Decatur was beautiful for a New Orleans joint, at least to me. I always admired the graffiti that found its way through all the best parts of the city, the same peering faces, names, and sayings. I looked at my thin reflection in the mirror and saw only errors. I reflected back on an adolescence of starvation, scales, and calorie counting. I threw up and wiped my cheek. But that was not enough. The next mistake was leaving alone. The drive home is beautiful, across one of the longest bridges in the world, 24 miles of lake and sky and nothing more. On the way across the bridge, I made my plan. Something about the emptiness of the cloudy night sky made my mind wander to dangerous old games. The sky and the sea blurred together into one great darkness. I stared into this darkness, and I wanted to do something very wrong and bad. The darkness filled me up, and the stress of the past couple of days lit a fire of destructive desire inside of me. I was not afraid. My plan: to stop at my pharmacy, the 24-hour one, and get some blades. It was around 2 a.m. As I drove, my mind sped up, and the dark sky began to press into my open mind and overtake it with thoughts from somewhere else. The miracle. I parked my old car in front of the pharmacy, looking around to make sure no one who knew my parents was around. The automatic doors slid open for me, and I felt the cool hiss of air conditioning hit my sweaty skin. My heart was racing as I approached the bright lights of the store. My old friend Chase walked out and noticed me with surprise. "Siffa, what are you doing here? Wow, it's good to see you." He shook his mane of long, curly black hair. "Chase." I didn't know what to say. I knew something strange was going on, but I didn't know what to do or make of it. "Come over to my house, let's hang out," he said. I knew this was a dangerous proposition. I had had feelings for Chase but never acted on them because I wanted to remain loyal to Mike. I'd never been to his house alone, and I was unsure, but I knew that anything was better than me going to the store and getting those blades. Soon we were sitting on his roof. He had a dorm window on top of his parents' French-Acadian-style house in the rich part of Mandeville. I bummed a cigarette and my mind raced quicker. I told him everything about the blades, about the fights, the drive, the girl, and now meeting him. I told him I thought it was some kind of miracle. I told him that to my disbelief the same thing had happened not long ago. I had been walking into a pharmacy at night to get blades and ran into an old friend. It must have been some kind of divine intervention. When we stepped back inside through the window, I tripped over my heels and fell into his arms. My whole body became very warm and I had to leave then. Nothing was enough. This is when I spit in the face of God. I threw a blessing back to the universe and said, "Fuck you. You have screwed me over, universe. You think that offering me one good thing can make up for my shitty life? One miracle can make a difference?" 4 a.m. I sped through the red lights and stop signs, back to the pharmacy and bought my blades. I'd been awake for almost 24 hours, and at this point I was out of my mind. Lust, jealousy, rage, and sorrow flew past me at a blinding speed. I was alone in my room, on my chair, in the same room where I had hurt myself for all of my teenage years, in the same room where I raged, and the same hands that wrote the diary began to drag the blade. I started with pins. I pushed them all the way through my left palm like a magician would do. I pushed them into the muscle of my bicep. I called my boyfriend. I wanted him to know. At first he was confused. I hadn't hurt myself in months at this time. I told him I was fucked up. He tried to talk me out of it. At first he was nice, then he begged, and then he turned mean. "You think you're so fucking hardcore, Siffa, don't you?" I pulled a blade up from the pack and began slicing up my thigh in a diagonal line above my knee. I hung up the phone. He's fucking right, I am fucking hardcore. The darkness filled the whole of my consciousness, and all I saw was my thick, fleshy body, and all the mistakes that I had made, and my misery and rage and insecurities. All I knew was how to hold in a scream like the snow melting into a raging waterfall. I allowed the dark sky of a triggering night make my decisions for me. My vision blurred. I had cut myself deeply and was bleeding through sheets of paper towels, but my hand would not stop the gashing motion, and it went deeper and deeper until at last I saw muscle, and I felt a thick pop, and everything went numb. Then, and only then, was I afraid. I pulled out an old t-shirt and applied the pressure from my whole body onto my gushing thigh. Now I could feel something at least. I called Mike back. "I need to go to the ER. "Why did you want to die, Siffa?" "I didn't fucking want to die. Why does everyone keep saying that?" I say irritably. "The paramedics reported to us that if you had cut half a centimeter to the right, you would have bled to death in seconds," said Dr. Rose, looking down at her files. "I know I lost control, but I would never kill myself. I never wanted to die. The fact is, Siffa, that whether or not it was on purpose, you almost died." Dr. Rose takes off her glasses and begins to clean them on her blazer. "Now we're going to change your medication a little, alright? Just down 10 milligrams in the Gedon, and we're going to start you on something new to help with the instability. Is that alright with you?" "Why the hell not?" I raise my hands in surrender. "Now your friend, Mike, he's been calling you all day." "He's my boyfriend, actually, and I'll be lucky if he stays with me after last night." My insides fold over at the thought of losing Mike. "Look who's finally up," called an older woman with bright red hair and sparkling eyes. "So, sugar, what's your name? I see they brought you some lunch. You've been sleeping all day long. Had a wild night?" I think they gave me some meds last night in the ER. I have no idea, and I'm Siffa, thanks." "That's a fine bunch of stitches you've got there. Can you walk all right?" "Kind of. They finally brought me some crutches, so it's not too bad." "I'm Donna." "Say, sugar, you're anorexic, aren't you? See, I can tell because you're thin, and you're cutting your tater tots into fourths. What kind of a freak does that unless they're anorexic?" She laughs sympathetically. "I'm not thin enough to be anorexic by any means, but I have a history of not eating when I'm stressed out, which is a lot of the time." "And what is that on your arm?" Donna props her glasses on her nose and takes a closer look, then recoils in fear. "Oh, it's called a cervix piercing." I laugh with mouth on my food. I push the bar out of my skin and show her the exposed metal, and she screams out loud and nearly falls over, clutching at her glasses. The nurses lazily glanced over from their station to make sure everything's okay. "Oh my word, my husband would— Don't ever do that again, okay, sugar?" She sputters while I laugh hysterically. It's your typical psych ward. Big, open room, white painted cement brick walls with doors on all the walls leading to bedrooms and therapy rooms. The patients can tell it's not my first time in a psych ward. On one side of the ward is the men's rooms, and the other side is the women's rooms. In the middle are two groupings of low couches bolted to the ground. There are 2 telephones for all 24 of us. Nothing in the ward is over 3 feet tall, and there are no hooks or anything to hang things off of for obvious reasons. The back wall has windows looking to our outside space in the TV room. The front walls has doors to our therapy rooms where we have individual and group therapy. I notice a suspicious-looking man appear in the hallway of one of the men's bedrooms. He begins to walk toward me with a limp and a drunken gaze. "Chuck, don't touch!" Donna's screaming again. Don't touch? Don't touch what, I think. The man approaches me and another male patient runs to my side. "Chuck, don't touch, okay?" The patient says to the man who looks somehow lopsided. "Chuck likes to touch, and it scares some people," the man explains. "What the fuck?" "He was in a bad car crash a few months ago and he had some brain damage," the man tells me. "Hello." Chuck stands very close to me, looks over his grimy glasses and extends a thick hand. "Hi there, Chuck." I smile politely, recoiling from his face, which is inches from mine, but do not shake his hand. "Okay, now go and sit back down, Chuck." The man leads him away. I hold my crutches like a weapon as he walks away. A little while later, I hear a call from down the ward. "Night meds," a frail woman calls. She's almost completely white from her pale, papery skin to her long white hair and light eyes. Patients emerge from their dark rooms in various state of dress. Some are wearing nightgowns and some hospital gowns. Some patients are alert and talkative, and others trudge by without a thought. I get in line, and when it comes to being my turn, the nurse gives me my medications in a little paper cup. Something is wrong. "Take your medicine and step aside, please, Siffa." The nurse snaps for me to leave. "No, this is wrong. Where's my Geodon? This isn't what I agreed to take." I begin to panic. If I don't have my correct meds, bad things could happen. "Siffa, you will have to discuss it with your doctor in the morning. This is what she said to give you." "No, you don't understand. She said we were just lowering it a little." "Step aside, Harriet," the nurse interrupted. I began to protest, but gave up and took the meds that she gave me. The next night, I began to hear music, and at first could not tell if it was inside my head or out. Someone had turned on a radio at the nurse's station. Jazz music was playing, and the old man in the wheelchair was up and dancing around the ward, laughing and daring people to make him sit back down. "Mr. Wells, should you be out of your chair?" I joke with him. "Siffa, come dance with me." He holds out a dark hand. I pause and look around the ward. Everyone is happy tonight. We've all had our nighttime cigarettes, and we're relaxing and getting ready for bed. Donna motions for me to go dance, and I do. I think about the first time I danced with Mike and how he was so shy. I grab my crutches and take his worn hand in mine. His stiff arm holds me and we dance a strange, shuffling dance. The other patients are around us, smiling and laughing. Someone hisses in my ear, "Donna spiked the coffee." I double over laughing and turn to Donna, who pulls an empty bottle of whiskey out of her bra and winks at me. I love how the nurses never give a fuck. The patients are clearly drunk and they're not even looking twice. That's how it is in private hospitals. The radio changed to rock and roll, and I began to see a faint pink outline to everything. It is as if everything has the lightest coating of cotton candy to it. I was craving sweets because I had been barely eating, and of course the nurses never notice when you don't eat. "Donna, do you have any candy?" "No, but I can get some." She winks and points to an exposed pack of Skittles in the nurse's station. Donna, sweet little Donna, sidles up to the nurse's station. "Yes, hello there. How are you ladies tonight? I'm having an issue. I'm very sad, you see. I'm thinking about killing myself and..." As Donna talks to the nurses, they mock concern while barely glancing over their iPhones. When they're not looking, she slips the candy into her bra. "Well, yes, that and Parmesan cheese. It's giving me the heebie-jeebies, you know. Keeps laughing at me. Those judging eyes. Oh God, those cheesy eyes of judgment!" She cries as she walks backward to the couches. The nurses look at each other, shake their heads, and look back at their phones. In the middle of the night, I wake up, and the cotton candy is covering all of my walls. I know what's going on, and they've finally put me in a padded cell. They know I'm batshit crazy, and this is it. At least it's delicious. But then the cotton candy begins to rot in front of my eyes. It turns gray, then black, and flies begin to hover and land on it. It begins to smell, and my mouth falls open, and I fall back on the bed. I'm paralyzed, and as I watch the cotton candy grows and pushes in on me, all of a sudden I see clowns with cotton candy noses and hair, and they are singing about death and feasts. Circus ponies fill my room and prance on my bed, their painted faces leering at me, their mouths frothing and rabid, and their starving ribs protruding. I'm screaming, but it's only in my head. I try to sit up, but I'm being held down. I cannot move. One of the clowns peers over my leg and plucks the stitches out one by one, laughing harder and harder with each stitch. When the last stitch is released, a dark fog begins to leak from my leg, and I know it's true. I am filled with evil and badness. The true evil of who I am is leaking out and polluting the ward. I'm afraid that everyone will suffocate from the toxic fumes of my soul. I know that I deserve to die because I'm a terrible person. They said they found you under your bed, Dr. Rose said. Yeah, because I need my correct meds. That stuff you gave me made me see shit, I tell her. My head is throbbing and I'm holding it in my hands. It is the next morning and I'm in my individual therapy session. You don't understand how much medication fucks with me. It's got to be exactly right or I go insane, I tell her. I want you to stay on this new med, but I can put everything back to where it was before, okay? Sure, whatever. How much longer am I gonna have to be here? Well, we want to assess you and make sure you don't try to kill yourself again. Fuck it, I said I didn't try to kill myself. I storm out of the room, slamming the door behind me. My head is throbbing and I feel weak all over. I go to my room and lie down in bed, but it's too hot. I lie there, my muscles are twitching and I'm restless and I need to move. In a few seconds I'm up. I pace the ward. How are you today, Harriett? Old man Wells asks. Something is wrong. I'm not feeling well. I tell him as I race by, hobbling on my crutches. Hey, Mr. Wells, why are you here anyway? Don't be rude now, he smirks at me. I'm just messing. See, I decided to stop taking my medications. I decided I didn't need them no more. And well, the next thing I know, I'm in the ER and they tell me I was running around town buck naked. Can you believe that? I can't even run. I've been in this wheelchair for years now. He laughs hoarsely and his dark eyes fold in the corners. All of a sudden I'm weak again. I need to sleep. I need to close my eyes. I finish the circle around the ward to my room and lie down in my bed again. As soon as I cover myself with the thin blankets, I begin to wiggle my feet and my whole body starts shaking. I close my eyes and count to 30, and then I'm up, pacing again. I begin to realize that I'm crazy. This is what it means to go insane. I'm not seeing anything anymore, but I'm not in control and I'm terrified. I go to the nurse's desk. I need my anti-anxieties, please, I tell the pale woman. Are you sure you don't look anxious, Harriet? Why don't you go lie down in your room and close your eyes? No, I don't think you understand. I'm not feeling well. I think I'm going crazy. Why don't you just wait a couple hours until group therapy, okay? No, I can't. Go sit down, Siffa, she says. Please, Jesus Christ, please give me the medication. You're all right, just go now. It is at this point that I get down on my knees and lift my clasped hands to her. I'm begging you, please, please have mercy on me. I'm humiliated, crying, begging for medication, but I need it. I cannot stand one more second like this. I've never felt so fucked up in my life. Never so powerless as I do now. With my knees on the dirty ward floor, I am praying to a last-ditch God to save what is left of me. The nurse looks sideways at me, considering what she should do. Well, okay, I guess you can have it, she decides. I'm crying. I feel naked and exposed. I've never felt this helpless in my life, like an animal in a cage. This is what my existence has become, I think. I have no rights here in this place. I'm defeated and beaten to the core. Sugar, who's your nanan? Donna asks me the next day while I'm coloring in a Hello Kitty coloring book. My what? Are you a southerner or not? A nanan is like your godmother, your mama that takes care of you but isn't really related to you. Oh, I guess I don't have one. I don't really even have a godmother. You know what, Siffa? I'll be your nanan, okay? I'll take care of you, don't you worry. She pats my shoulder and smiles. I see Chuck behind Donna's head. He is standing just in the darkness of his door frame. He is staring at me. He says something quietly, his lips moving grotesquely, but I'm terrible at reading lips. Donna, what is Chuck saying? She looks behind her with a start, watches for a second, and then makes a funny face at me. I have no idea, sweetheart. Don't let him bother you. I feel as if bugs are crawling all over my body when he looks at me. Harriet, you have a visitor. A male nurse lazily drones to me. He unlocks the front door and I see Luke's blonde head. His face is drained white. He approaches me, looks me in the eyes for a moment, stares at the stitches on my leg, and then holds me tighter than he ever has. No inappropriate touching! Our nurse yells from the station. We sit together on one of the couches. Is this the famous Mike you were telling us about? Donna asks sweetly with a half smile. Yeah, I guess so. I laugh shyly. Oh, Siffa's told us all about you, she brags. How you're in a band and a music student, how romantic. She almost sings when she talks. She told us all about how y'all met too, but I'll let you lovebirds be alone now. How are you doing, Siffa? He asks after staring at me for a moment. I have to be honest, it's bad. I can't hide it anymore. Something is wrong. I keep pacing, then lying down, then pacing. There are too many hours in the day. I spend every day watching the clock, watching every second, and it is too present. It's too real for me to handle. I'm weak. My body is sick and tired, but my mind is always racing, and I need to move. I'm being torn in every direction. The seconds go on for an eternity, and I cannot last much longer here. It's pure torture, I tell him under my breath. I barely have any energy to talk anymore. Baby, you're gonna be okay. He gently pulls my chin up so my eyes are looking into his. You're a strong woman. Sure, you messed up. We all do, but you're gonna be okay. We're gonna figure this out. My eyes begin to water. I do not deserve him. He pulls me into his chest reassuringly. No groping each other, yells the nurse. We separate. You were doing really well, Siffa. You had gone almost 5 months without hurting yourself. You were doing amazing. But I cannot stand the thought of losing you. I'm going to help you figure this out. I begin to slowly cry. I thought that he would leave me after this. I touch his long blonde hair. I always like how he looks like a metalhead but is soft in his manners. By the way, why is Donna here? He asks. I wag my finger at him in mock scolding. That's the only question you can ask. But no, she actually tried to set herself on fire. It's actually really sad because her son-in-law murdered her only grandson. I'm surprised she didn't show you his picture. She shows everyone the picture of her grandson. But when she heard the news, she went and got in the trash can where they burn their garbage, and she doused herself in gasoline. But her husband stopped her before she could light herself on fire. She's lucky, huh? I play with his hair, but I'm just feeling too bad. I need to lie down. I need to pace. I need medication. I need something. Baby, I'm sorry, but I've got to go, I whisper. I can still save for another half hour, though, he says, confused. I drove all the way here from Metairie. No, you need to go. I have to be alone. I'm sorry. I begin to cry. What is wrong with you? He asks, concerned and irritated. I don't know. I'm sorry. It's my meds. They're all fucked up. When he leaves, I feel even more miserable. But at least I can pace again and lie down for 30 seconds at a time, which provides me some sort of relief. One of my joys of the day is taking a shower, simply because it is something productive to do and takes a few minutes. I wish I could take 5 showers a day, but I only take maybe 1 or 2. Why do I always want to hurt myself? I asked Donna while we are out for a smoke break. Well, why do you? That's the problem. I don't know, I said. If I knew, things would be so much easier. I feel like that's the problem, that I don't know why I do it. If I knew why, then I could fix it. Do you have any idea why? I wish I did, but you're really the only one that knows, sugar. You should never cut your pretty skin. You're too sweet and lovely for that, she says between puffs of her Virginia Slims. That's the thing, I think. I'm too fucking sweet and lovely. That's what everyone sees. They don't know the truth. They have no idea how bad I am on the inside. They don't know the dark storm that hides inside of me. They overlook my mistakes for my beauty, and it makes me sick. You think too much, Harriett, Old Man Wells adds. I can see it when your eyes lose focus. You're too deep in your head for a girl your age. I don't know what he means by this. It is my 5th night in the hospital, and I wake up to screaming. I had gone to bed early, as I did every night, to escape the endless moments of the day. I run to my door and see Donna, enraged, with her eyes wild and fixed on a whimpering Chuck. She was wearing only an oversized t-shirt which was now askew. Chuck's filthy glasses lie on the floor beside him, completely smashed and bloody. His face is bright red, and there was a clear mark where he had been hit. Small beads of blood are forming on his cheeks. There are no nurses in sight, as usual. That asshole tried to rape you, Donna screams hysterically. I had to punch him in the face to stop him from crawling into bed with you. She is breathing hard from the exertion, a hand over her heart. She takes a few ragged breaths before speaking again. No one wanted to scare you, but he molested a girl in the other ward the day before you got here, she admits to me. 2 of the male patients take Chuck by the arms and sit him down on the sofa. So he molested a girl and they put him in here with me? I ask, incredulous. We'll keep a better eye on him, Harriet. Don't worry, says one of the patients. I can't sleep tonight, even with 50 milligrams of Seroquel, even with old Mr. Wells sleeping on a cot outside my door. Not like he can do much. When I sleep, I have nightmares. I dream that Dr. Rose tells me I will have to stay here forever. I dream that I will never get to go back to college or see my friends. I wake up and all my dreams seem real. In the morning, I have an individual therapy session with Dr. Rose, but I refuse to say much at all to her. She just pisses me off at this point. I run out of cigarettes and have to smoke some kind of weird off-brand they keep for the patients that can't afford cigarettes. It tastes disgusting, and I wash my mouth out after. Everyone seems to be in a good mood as usual, except for the 1 or 2 schizophrenics who keep to themselves. I don't know what it is, but I feel like I did on that night just a few days ago. I'm not afraid again. Today my job is to help serve lunch. I'm in the kitchen, and because he trusts me, the chef has left me alone to grab the trays. I'm always the good girl, and I hate it. I'll show them. Of course I noticed where the knives were on the first day I walked in the kitchen. They're not hidden very well. No one should trust me with anything, really. I take the biggest, nastiest knife I can find and I put it in my bra. It feels freezing and honest against my breast. There's a lot of truth to a cold knife. You can't tell lies when you're holding a knife. It's no razor blade by any means, but it will do. For some reason my thoughts turn to Luke. I don't know why, though. I'm trying to reason with myself and talk myself into something evil. But he keeps butting in. His smile won't fade away. And it scares me because in his smile there's a little bit of me. And I don't want to be a part of that, but it's too late. I can't take back his love for me. I tell myself how much I've suffered. I've had a hard life. I've been dealing with this shit for almost my whole life, the whole crazy girl thing. I don't believe it will ever change or get better. Sure, I've only hurt myself maybe twice this whole year, but I still feel like shit every day. Everyone else is fucking happy because I'm not cutting, but here I am miserable still. It's not right and I'm not okay with it. I'm done. I feel the outline of the knife through my blouse with my right hand. It's real. I turn to leave the kitchen and go back to my room when all of a sudden Donna appears in the doorway. "Hey, sugar, what's for lunch?" she asks cheerfully. I'm angry because she's not supposed to be here. It's against the rules. Sandwiches. I don't know, I stutter. I glance around nervously and try to leave. I just wanted to tell you, love, that I'm very proud of you. You're a good girl, you know. And that boy Mike, well,